The following tests were conducted to show the efficiency of removing oil from the feathers of a duck that was saturated with crude oil, and preventing oil from adhering to the feathers by using PRP Oil Buster on an oil slick prior to the feathers coming in contact with the oil. A National Conservancy organization, Ducks Unlimited, was contacted in order to legally obtain the specimens to conduct this test. The first tests were done in order to show PRP as being an efficient way of removing oil from a waterfowl that had been inadvertently covered with crude oil due to a spill. When PRP comes in contact with any hydrocarbon, it immediately assimilates the hydrocarbon, which can be then brushed from the feathers. Any wax or PRP particles containing oil and remaining on the feathers will degrade the oil over a period of time. The PRP wax spheres are totally natural and made primarily of beeswax, one of nature's most perfect substances. The second tests are very conclusive in showing that a waterfowl landing in a body of water that is covered by an oil spill and has had PRP applied to the spill will emerge without oil clinging to any part of the feathers. This is because the PRP has absorbed or encapsulated the oil and prevented it from adhering to the feathers.
PRP powder is actually made up of tiny hollow beads called microspheres. NASA researchers discovered them in 1992 by accident during an experiment aboard a plunging KC-135. In the weightless environment like that seen here, an effort to grow liquid crystals resulted instead in bubbles of air trapped within tiny crystalline spheres. NASA later developed other methods of producing them. They make their microspheres using a single active ingredient: ordinary beeswax. Beeswax contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, ingredients which make it a food source for naturally occurring microorganisms. In the event of an oil spill, PRP can be spread directly onto the slick. The beeswax spheres are 18% hydrocarbon, so they absorb oil and reject water, which allows them to float. Hungry microorganisms already present in the environment dine on the beeswax buffet. The population of microorganisms thrives and multiplies. As they feast, the microbes release waste enzymes, which break down and neutralize the hydrocarbons. The PRP story is just another example of how technologies used to explore space are improving life here at home.
I think all of us, looking back at the space program, can identify a number of things that have come out of space technology that benefit our everyday lives, from communication systems to safety-related items. When NASA started back in 1958, we didn't know what those future benefits would be, but we're confident that, just as we've shown in the past, that investments in science and technology and space and aeronautics will continue to provide broad benefits to the public.